All right, so can we proceed?
Yes, I think.
Yes, we can proceed.
Okay, so let's box on. So like I said, when we started, when I created a group, the agenda of the group was disclosed along the line. And yes, this is the day we are starting to, really work on whatever we understood to be the purpose of the group. Now, next semester, you are going to do one particular course called Introduction to Computer Programming. And that you are going to use a language called, or a computer language called C++. Yes, all other things being equal, that is what you are going to be using. But then, more often than not, what happens is the course will be introduced. Others will be able to pick up, others will not be able to pick up. And I can boldly tell you that out of the lot, it's only few who are able to grasp the concept right from the scratch and are able to build on it as they progress. And I kind of been asking myself, or the question is, why is it that when it comes to computer programming, people tend to fumble or find it difficult when they are being introduced to? And there are a lot of answers that comes up when you ask those questions. But then I'm not really interested in those. What I'm interested in is that this is an essential component of your course or your program that you are doing for the 4 years. Now, trust you me that for the 4 years, from level 100 through to 200 through to 400, you are going to be doing programming related stuffs until you complete. I don't want to believe that you would want to be in a space where you didn't really understand the basics, and for that matter, you've accepted that, okay, whatever be the case, let me just learn it and pass it, and then that's okay. I don't want you to believe, or I don't want to have the notion that that is what you want. The more reason why I've taken it upon myself that as a person or as an individual who knew nothing about computer programming, and then my internet connection is not stable. Can you see my screen anyway? Hello, can you see my screen? And can you hear me?
Visual basis.
I said, make someone do screen recording. Okay. Someone is sending a message. What is it? Please, let's mute or mic so that. Okay. All right. So if you are following, let's continue. If you are following, let's continue. All right. Yeah. So I've taken it upon myself that I'll help an individual or whoever is interested to have a forehand knowledge, or let me say, a basic understanding of computer programming before you even start a semester, so that in one way or the other, maybe it will just be an additional knowledge that you are going to get when you're introduced to the course, or you build on whatever we are going to introduce ourselves to. Yes, and that is the more reason why we are meeting this evening. Have I made some sense?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. Now, when we talk about computer programming, it involves a lot. It really entails a lot. But then I believe that when you're able to understand the fundamentals of programming or what goes into programming, how difficult it is, how tough it is, you'll be able to what? Overcome it. So before we even go ahead and start to maybe get our hands dirty to write some codes and all that, I've crafted some few elements. Please, someone's microphone is on and it's actually disturbing. Who is that? Um, Quite a number of you have your microphones
How many
on.
people do we have?
I think we have 14 participants here.
Okay.
Yes, we have 14 participants here. All right. Yeah, so like I was saying, before we even dive to start to write some computer programs or codes, we need to understand some basic elements that comes together for us to even have computers and how even computers uh, are able to process the sort of information we give them. All right. Okay. So my name is Ernest. I believe most of you know me. If you don't know me too, maybe hopefully along the line you are going to know me. So that is that my name is Ernest, and uh I'm actually a multifaceted person. I do computer programming, I create content, I develop software, I also teach people and all that. So that is a bit about me. Hello, someone is talking at the background.
I.
Oh, uh, let me mute all of you so that so it's something. Let me mute all. Yes. So when you want to talk, you unmute yourself and then you talk. All right? Okay. So let's box on. So that is a bit about me, okay? All right. So let's look at the things you are supposed to get to know within this particular session. We are going to introduce ourselves to the importance, of understanding computer basics. Um, get to know what computer is, and also highlight some components of the computer system, talking about the CPU, the memory, the storage devices, input and output devices, and all that. We're also going to highlight a bit about data storage, concept of data, types of memory, RAM, and all that. And then when we are through with that section, we start to look at programming basics and computer instructions. Then we dive to look at a bit of programming languages and instructions and what we call compilers and interpreters. Finally, we are going to highlight some few questions and then answers, and then we draw curtains on today's session whilst we prepare for what is next and what is next in the session. All right. What's the message? Who can see your messages? Okay. All right. Someone has sent something in the chat. All right. Whoever is in Techno KJ5, I would love it if you're able to rename your device to represent your name. At least I can acknowledge that and then. All right. So that is that. Let's box on. So when we are through with the session, you are supposed to be able to understand the fundamental concept of computer basics. explore the role of computers in modern society, and also prepare yourself or have knowledge that is going to ground you for the tasks that we have ahead. Now, when we talk about computers, what we are seeing today, the mobile devices, the desktop computers, the laptop computers, the smartwatches, what sort of computer that we have, they did not just come up or let's say get to the stage that they are by themselves like that. It started off from a particular point. And so we have a terminology or concept called generation of computers. So we say that computers have evolved over what? Generations. So when we talk about the first generation of computers, basically the very first time that computers were introduced or let's say were developed was regarded as the first generation of computers. And when you read about the first generation of computers, it was really, really fascinating. And the things that at the time computers were able to process, fine, it was able to process data and information, but then not as very complicated or super fast as we are having today. So when you're able to follow the history of computers up until now, you are really, really going to appreciate engineers and technology at large. You are really going to appreciate it. Yes. Now we are currently in the fifth generation of computers, gradually transitioning into what we call the sixth generation. And even in the fifth generation, we are having technologies such as AI, machine learning, a whole lot of complicated technologies, which is now helping us to transition into an era or another generation called the sixth generation, or you can say the AI generation. So you can take it upon yourself and try to read about the history of computers. And I believe you are going to get to know more and more about that. All right. Now, it is very crucial that we understand the basis of computer. Why? Computers are abundant in modern life, from smartphones to laptops and to industrial machines. Understanding computer basics also provides you with a foundation for various fields, including programming, IT, engineering, and what have you, whatever you can mention. When you have the understanding of computer basics, it gives you the foundation for various fields. Yes, these are few ones that I've highlighted yet. Programming, IT, engineering, and so on and so forth. Oh, yeah, please, I'm having online session. Let me finish. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, good. Yes. So then again, when you have the knowledge of computer basics, it opens doors to wide range of career opportunities in the digital age. The age that we are in now is called the digital age. We are in the digital age. So when you have understanding of computer basics, it opens so many opportunities for you. So you can decide to be maybe an IT consultant. You can decide to be a software engineer. You can decide to be like a teacher of maybe technology. You teach people how to use certain technologies and all that. There are so many career opportunities. Whatever that you think or come in mind, you can use technology to leverage or help promote. Those are opportunities that are available in the IT industry, or let's say the computer world, when you tend to understand the basics of what computing. All right, so these are few benefits when you are able to understand or have the knowledge about basic computers. All right. Now, let's try to understand what a computer is. You've been saying computer, 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 computer. What at all is it? What at all is it? Now, when we say a computer, the simple definition I have here, you can have complicated definition or understanding to it. But the simple definition I have here is that computer is an electronic device that processes data according to a set of instructions. Hello? Are we there?
Hi,
Yes,
we are
yes,
here.
All right, so
yeah, we are here.
good. So like I said,
And
computer
topic
is an electronic device that processes data according to a set of instruction. So it means that without instruction, when you analyze the definition very well, you could see that there are so many elements. Could see that there are so many elements. We have electronic device, processes, we have data, and then we have set of instructions. So without this element, there isn't computer. So first of all, it needs to be an electronic device so that it can receive what we call signals. It can receive what we call signals. If it happens like that, it means it's an electronic device. Now, this electronic device should be able to process data according to a given set of instructions. So when we have computers, they should be able to what? Process signals and also process signals according to the instructions that we give them. So basically, that is a computer. And the image I have here is not, I mean, it's a computer, right? But this is not the only type of computer we have. When you have a thermometer, it's a computer. When you have a smartwatch, it's a computer. A mobile phone is a computer. What again? Like so many
Tablet.
things. Tablets. What have you? Anything that is of electronic or uses electronic or electricity, we term it to be a computer because it is able to process information. So even with the definition, we can say that the switches on our lighting system that is able to help us switch on the light and turn it off, we can say it's a computer because it has mechanisms in there that is able to receive signals that, okay, this time around, turn on the light. This time around, turn off the light. So we can say that there is some sort of what? Computing element in there. Are we good?
Yes, please.
we are good.
All right. Thank you for your feedback. Now, when you pick a computer system, there are so many components, but then there are some basic components that serve as running out of time. Whoa. So this is for like giving me what? 9 minutes. Hey, but this this online meeting platforms, why? Why are they doing these things to us? Hello. So we according to the notice I have here, we have 9 minutes to reconnect again. So in case it drops, you would have to, I mean, rejoin. Okay. All right. So like I said, we have some basic components of the computer system that serve as a building block of the entire computing system. So one, we have what we call the CPU. Now, this is what we regard normally as the brain of the computer, and it is responsible for executing instructions. So when you tell the computer to, I mean, perform 2 plus 2, it is the CPU that is going to handle that computation for you. When you open any application on the computer, it is with the help of the CPU to process that information for it to work as intended. And we are saying that it is one of the basic components of the computer system. Okay, we also have what we call the memory. The memory stores data and instructions temporarily for quick access by the CPU. So the common one we can talk about is the RAM. the computer's RAM. The computer's RAM, it stores data and instructions temporarily for quick access by the CPU. So when you analyze it, you could tell that, okay, it means that the CPU and the memory or the storage device, they work hand in hand. So maybe the storage device will hold the data, and whenever any instruction is executed on the data, the CPU now have to what? Use its logical unit to process whatever the data is demanding. So that is the memory unit as well. Now we also have another one called the storage devices. Now memory is also a storage device, but one stores data permanently and one stores data temporarily. So devices like the hard disk drive, your pen drives, normally the technical term for pen drive is flash drives. We have the SD cards, we have what? The SSDs and what have you. Those are all secondary storage devices, and they store data permanently or for a longer time. But memories normally stores data temporarily. So note the difference. We also have input and output devices. They allow users to interact with a computer, example, keyboard, mouse, monitor, microphone, and all that.
Okay, please, I have a question.
All right.
So let's go back to that of the memory.
We should go back to
that of the memory.
Okay.
So we talk about the memory in the computer.
Okay.
When we said we have the RAM and that of the ROM.
Okay.
So we wanted to get to know the difference between the temporary memory and that of the permanent memory. So if someone just asks you the question, what is the temporary memory in the computer? We should identify this component as this is the temporary memory. And what
Okay.
is the permanent memory?
Okay. Thank you for your question. Now, when we say something is temporal, it means that it does not stay, it does not hold for a longer period. Within a short time or a given period, it is off. When you relate that understanding to our computing environment, the RAM is a temporary storage device, meaning that whenever you turn on your computer, okay, the OS, which is the operating system, the applications you've installed, the music, the videos, the games, and all that you have on your computer, they are stored on the permanent storage device. Example, your hard disk drive. Your games, your videos, your music, and all that are stored on the secondary storage device or the permanent storage device. But then the OS or certain instructions that help the computer to start up are stored temporarily in the RAM. So whenever you open an application like Microsoft Word, though it is seated on your hard disk drive, it will now be loaded into the computer's memory, which is the RAM. And that it stores it temporarily. It lasts only when, for the duration of which you are executing that Microsoft Word, it lasts for only that period. So when you go ahead and close Microsoft Word or any other application, it now leaves the computer's memory. It leaves there. But then its setup, its installation instructions are still on your hard disk. But then for you to be able to use it, maybe you type Word, you insert tables and all that, all those things are done in the computer's memory with the help of the CPU. And that is how come we are saying that it stores data temporarily. When a computer goes off, whatever you are doing at that moment, you will lose it. But then when you turn on the machine, the installed application, which is the Microsoft Word that you've installed on your computer, you can still open it. But then the thing that you are doing, the typing that you are doing, you are not going to retrieve them. You are not going to get them. Yes.
Okay, so a final conclusion on what he has said is that
Uh-huh.
we have a hard disk drive,
Uh-huh.
which is the permanent memory in the computer,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So you install softwares, you install applications and everything, document everything. They are stored on your hard disk drive.
Exactly.
So immediately you want to process anything, it goes into the memory
Exactly.
for execution.
Exactly.
It goes into the memory for execution.
Exactly.
So before it gets presented, okay. So are we also looking at the hard disk because we talk about the RAM and that of the ROM? So which one of them do the hard disk drive for? Or no, is it the ROM, which is
Come
the
again. You said we also talk about what?
we talk about two different memories, right? We know
Yes.
about the RAM and that of the ROM.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So how can we classify our hard disk drive? Is it a ROM?
Okay. So now a hard disk drive is not a ROM. Okay. It's kind of classified as a ROM because ROM is read-only memory. It means that the instructions that are written on uh, ROM, you can only read them, but then you can't modify them, you can't change them. So,
Mhm.
example of a ROM can be your BIOS. So when I say BIOS, you know what is it?
Mm,
Yes.
I
Now,
forgot.
okay, so you have your computer. We can tell that okay, your computer is HP. It is having maybe uh Core i7 processor, maybe fifth gen.
Okay, you're talking about the computer, the information,
About the
computer system,
computer.
mm,
Yes,
system info, right?
exactly.
Okay,
All
system,
those information
yeah,
are stored on a ROM
okay.
because ROM, when you write information to a ROM, you can't wipe it, you can't delete them,
You can edit it.
you can't edit it. But for RAM, you can lose it, you can also alter it. I think I say we have less than 1 minute, so let me just drop this thing and we can reconnect. Um,
Okay.
I think going forward you have to switch to maybe Google Meet and see because I don't know.
You see, we said a long, long time. It would have been very easy.
Yes, I side with you, but what happens is even Google Meet, they are also doing that 1 hour thing after